Hi there, and these comments are for F. I'm just using the first letter of your name for privacy purposes, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you completed independent writing practice test number 34. So the question here, describe a custom from your family that you would like people from other countries to adopt. Explain your choice using specific reasons and examples. So the whole purpose here is to explain why other people from other countries should adopt this custom. Now, the first thing I want to do is to check your organization. So it looks like you have a thesis, and you have there are many reasons and motives for Arab generosity: the geographical nature of life, the nature of social life and wars, the big advantages and reasons. You want to say here to choose, not choice. The generosity is to help the poor people, to maintain family togetherness, and to develop. You need to use a verb here, not a noun. And to develop the spirit of cooperation. Now, what we want to do now is to check the first line of each of your paragraphs. So the first one says one of the biggest benefits of helping poor people is to reduce the crime. But really, you want to connect this back to the purpose. Now, you are saying that it's going to help poor people, but you have to say something like this: if other countries adopt generosity, they will be able to help poor people by reducing crime. And that way you're taking this topic sentence and you're connecting it more directly back to the purpose here, is why you want other people to adopt this custom. All right, let's take a look at the next one. You say generosity helps maintain. You want to say family togetherness. As you've said here, you need a noun. So your second point ties back to this. But here you might say this. Again, you want to connect it back to why other people should adopt it. You might want to say other countries can also benefit from generosity by helping to maintain family togetherness. And that way, this topic sentence would tie more directly, not just to your thesis, but it ties back to the purpose here, which is why other people should adopt this particular custom. Okay, let's go to the next one. You say, furthermore, the generosity includes a generous, tender benevolence for others. The cooperative leads to doing business. So you say in the first paragraph, the development of the spirit of cooperation. So you use cooperation here, but again, you should probably use that in the topic sentence here. You know, generosity includes a generous tender of kindness for others, leading to cooperation. You see what I'm saying? And but also you have to tie this back to the last reason countries should adopt generosity is because it will help society cooperate more. You might use a topic sentence like that. Now, this particular paragraph is not well developed compared to the other ones. So you need to do or use more examples in here to help explain that idea. So in your conclusion, you say generosity is a huge sense of humanity, leads us to acquire the habits may set us apart from others, develop self-love differently by feeling gratified. It has different types of mismatched nobleness and generosity to mind, generosity with family. I think this final paragraph, your conclusion needs to restate these ideas. You have these three key points here: helping poor people, maintaining family togetherness, and developing or fostering the spirit of cooperation. So it looks like, let me say, okay, I think you did this. So you have it, develop self-love in a different way, feeling gratified when helping the poor. So you talk about helping the poor, maintaining family togetherness, You're kind of saying family and relatives, but you need to better restate your second idea of the family togetherness thing, and you did restate the spirit of cooperation. Right. So far from an organizational standpoint, my main suggestion is these particular topic sentences, as I pointed out, they need to better reflect the purpose here, which is why other people should adopt this particular custom. So that's really the main thing I think that you can do to improve your organization, specifically with topic sentences. Now, you also have numerous language use issues, a lot of grammatical issues going on with this particular essay. Now, I can't point out all the examples for time purposes, but I will point out in each paragraph, I'm going to point out at least one particular problem that you're having. Okay, let's take a look at your first paragraph. You have to say, of the most prominent and the most famous. You want to say here, Arabs, plural S. Yeah, see, this is kind of difficult. It almost sounds like you want to say, of the most prominent and famous Arabs is the previous Hatim Al-Tai, comma, who was the proverbial of generosity, I would probably say. So this sentence, it's difficult because of your grammar issues. It's hard for me to understand exactly what you're trying to say there. Now, I also gave you an example here. The big advantages and reasons here, you want to say to choose, not choice. To choose the generosity is to help the poor people, to maintain family togetherness, and you want to say here, to develop, no of, just to develop the spirit of cooperation. Okay, let's take a look at the next paragraph here. Okay, here, let's just take a look at this particular sentence right here. I'm going to give you some ideas what you can do here. See, if any country followed you say the habits, I would say of giving charity to the poor people, helping. I would say these habits. Sounds like you're talking about several things. So if any country followed these habits, they will reduce. I would say here, not be reduction. They will reduce the number of gangs and vandals in their respective countries, you could say. Again, I would rewrite this to say, if any country followed these habits, comma, they will reduce the number of gangs and vandals in their respective countries. So that would be what I would do to change the problems in there. So there's some word choice problems. I'm just making this a little bit less or more concise. Let's take a look at another example here. Okay, let's take a look at your last sentence here. I'll give you an idea of a change you can make here. You say also, the last one is generosity. You can't say is. You can't have two different verbs in the main part of the sentence, but you could say the last one is generosity, which is to develop cooperation. That's how I would say that. The last one is generosity, which is to develop cooperation. That would be the better way to express that particular idea. Your next paragraph, let's see. Let's go to this particular sentence here. You want to say, first of all, cooperation. You can't use cooperate as the verb. Why? Because you're using it as a subject and you have a noun marker, the, directly before it. So you can say, you can probably not even use that. Just say cooperation leads, put an S there. Cooperation leads to doing business in the fastest time and in a good picture. And that probably not the right words. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say. You're having some vocabulary issues, so your meaning is becoming obscured a little bit there. Okay, let's go to your final paragraph. Here's a problem here. You say generosity is a huge sense of humanity, leads us to. If you say leads us, this is your verb, you have no subject. But what if you did this? Generosity is a huge sense of humanity, comma, leading us to acquire the habits which may set us apart from other peoples. So you might say, comma, leading us to acquire the habits which may set us apart from other peoples. That's what I would do there. I would take this idea, combine it to the previous sentence, put a comma, change leads to leading, that it's now what's called a present participle, and then put a connector which after the word may, so you don't have two double verbs in that part of the sentence. All right, let's talk about your score now. In this one, I don't think you'll score in the 3 range here. Here's your problem. To score in the 3 range, you have to have accurate but limited range of sentence structure and vocabulary. Generally, you do not have accurate vocabulary or accurate sentence structure. You're having some problems either expressing your ideas in your sentences or using the right vocabulary to express your ideas. So we're going to have to go a little bit lower than that. Okay, here I'm going to say you had some problems with organization that I pointed out, specifically with the topic sentences in your body paragraphs. So that kind of relates to inadequate organization or connection of ideas. Now, one of your paragraphs was not developed very much. This one here. If you include this as a paragraph, you have to make sure you fully develop your ideas, which you did not. So I think you could have developed those ideas more. You have numerous problems with inappropriate word choice or word forms. Remember when I showed you in your essay, you said the word, I think you said the cooperate. Right here, you said the cooperate instead of cooperation. So what it means is you're not comfortable sometimes using your nouns or your adjectives or your adverbs or your verbs. You're not sure which form of the word that you should use based on the position in which it occurs in the sentence. So this is going to put you pretty low. I'm going to put you at about 2.25 out of 5 or 15 points out of 30 on this one. Now, for the purposes of our class, this is going to put you at 67% on this particular assignment. So what do? In order to improve, I do have some recommendations. So if you go to my grammar lesson number 7, you will see this particular website, a writer's reference, right? So first of all, if you click on writing exercises, I'd recommend you take a look at topic sentences. I think you can improve a little bit in how you're framing your topic sentences. You might want to go through these exercises to just get a general idea on how to better connect your topic sentences back to the purpose. So I think that would be good for you. Now, in terms of grammar, I noticed quite a few weaknesses in a lot of areas. I'd recommend, first of all, that you do practice with punctuation. I think this would be important. ESL challenges, grammatical sentences, word choice, and sentence style. These are some areas that I think that you can improve in. And you can improve, you can get better. It's going to take some time. So you want to go through some of these exercises and then do the exercises there, and it'll help reinforce. Now, when you do them, for example, let's say you do sentence style and you do parallelism. You had a lot of problems with parallelism in your writing, right? So here's what I recommend. Once you do one of these exercises and you click and you figure out which one is the right answer. I would also practice writing the sentence down, like this is the correct answer. So you're going to take a sheet of paper and you're going to put, in 1998, a tsunami hit a populated coast in Papua New Guinea, comma, killing 2,000 people and wiping out whole towns. Now, when you write it down, the next thing I would do is underline killing 2,000 people, wiping out whole towns, underline both of those things, and then in parentheses, just put parallelism. This is a problem that you can eliminate more in your writing. All right, anyway, thank you very much for completing the practice test. I will be looking for some improvements when you do that writing final exam in my class, and you want to make sure that you review these writing and grammar exercises at a writer's reference website, because that will help you to improve a lot of the errors that you're making right now.